I just wanted to see how this would work if I did it like this tonight instead of usually, what do you call it? Doing it on like StreamYard and then doing it this way and all different kinds of ways. I said on my YouTube channel in here that I would be jumping on after 8, but I didn't specify what time. So I was like, as long as I do it before midnight, it's true. So I followed through on my word. Otherwise, I would have gone back and just deleted the post that I made. It made you guys question your reality. I would have been like, YouTube, smooth, slick, gaslighting you, but not like in a mean way or on purpose. No, I would have just been like, oh. And I've never done it like this just on YouTube. So this like question popped up and it said slow mode. Like, do you want any kind of like chat or like comment or anything to be in a slow mode? I guess it says like if somebody sends a message, it's like only one per minute. Like you can't get multiple messages, or not that I was expecting any because it's late and I didn't promote this whatsoever. I am very spontaneous for a lot of people that know me, and I've been like that for a very long time. I mean, I can schedule stuff and I can show up and I can be like pretending like I'm normal, kind of like going with the flow a little bit. I get it, Friday flow show, but spontaneous is so much more fun for me. I don't know about for anyone else. I sound like so self absorbed, but it's true. I think it's because of this healing journey I've been on, you guys. I keep calling it that, a healing journey, a life journey, because aren't there so many different parts to our life and phases we go through, things you learn, things you don't learn, good times, bad times, whatever. I am still reading this autobiography for Bryan Cranston. He's a really famous actor. If you guys have seen Breaking Bad, he's been in Malcolm in the Middle. He's on this show that I want to start watching. It's called Your Honor. And I think it's on a few different streaming sites. It showed up on like Hulu, Netflix, Prime. So I think you can watch it on any of them, but it looks really good. And I watched part of the first episode, but obviously he's really good in Breaking Bad and all that. Tons of great actors out there, but Bryan Cranston, you guys, I read too many books at once. I don't know if you guys do. I do. This one's really good. A Life in Parts, because it made me think about, our life in different phases, different parts, different times. And I like how it just says of my life in parts. And he has it like separated by like all the different jobs he did, like phases. You guys know, if you watch this at all, you guys know I'm just flowing through Friday flow. That's what this is. It's not planned. I have a couple things that I'm like, I could say this or that if it doesn't flow right, but it always seems to flow. But that's kind of what I go for. Yeah, like one section of the beginning says house painter, like all these different jobs he had. Paperboy, suitor, farmhand, and it's like telling about his young life and how, he did his first acting class and what just getting into acting was like. Some of them are just so interesting, like estranged son, lover, dating consultant. What's the next one? I'm like right on this part where it's changing into the next thing and the next thing, talking about like his first wife and what happened there. And like, I just love how he tells these little stories about his life. And he just tells it, it just seems like he tells it like it is. Like nothing's sugar coated. He's honest, but not like, to the point of like, when people are being super honest and they just start over describing and you're like, oh, they're so like eloquent with their words. And just like a man, which I love, I'm not putting men down at all. Just like a man, how I love it. Just straight up, just straight on, like this is that, but it describes it perfectly and it just says it how it is. So if he didn't write this himself and he has a ghostwriter or whoever helped him write it, it's definitely his voice. Like it just sounds very, or a man wrote it, either way. Maybe I haven't looked at the beginning, where they say like this person wrote it or this person edited it, but I'm not going to be on here long because I know I'm talking to myself and it's super late and I have been sleeping so much. I don't know about you guys, but I have been like resting a lot, and I know I have to wake up in the morning because I have stuff going on tomorrow. So I know I can't sleep in like how I have been. But let me know how you guys are doing, if you're getting like some sleep in this summer or like swimming time to vacate in. I've been like, I want to say swimming a lot, but it's more like sunning, like a little bit of sun, a little bit of walk, a little walkie, a little talkie, a little coffee. Not as much swimming because it's like so hot. Like the water is hot now. And I was just telling my family I would have gotten on here earlier, but I spontaneously went and had some pizza and salad and like 2 bites of apple pie. Because oh no! Ugh, this ring light that I'm trying out. I don't have like a stand to put it in. And I think if I get too excited here on this little desk, yeah, I just fell down for the first time. But I caught it because my reflexes are top notch right now, apparently. Just having like a little drink. I normally don't drink anymore, you guys, hardly, but I think every time I have a drink, I say that when I'm on a live stream, and everyone's like, sure, Crystal, like you drink all the time. It's like whenever I get on these live streams, right? You guys ever tried these? I keep calling it Izzy. It says Vizzy with a V. I have called it Izzy so many times. I don't know. I got these from my sister. So they're pretty easy, like when you don't want to feel like you're really drinking, but like it's just kind of easy. You know what I mean? But let me know how your summer is going. It's so hot, like I was saying in the pool. The water is freaking hot, and I am seriously going to dump some ice in the pools. I really want to go to the springs and to the beach and all of that. I just haven't made it yet. But yeah, let me know if you guys are hitting up the beach or like other natural bodies of water. That's where I want to be. Like it's so much more healing to be in like salt water or something natural, like the springs. Obviously, like the pools and the lake. Oh god, the lake is just freaks me out nowadays. Unless you're going like tubing and you're all that like in the middle lake, but on the side, it's just like there's so much stuff in there. And I've waded in like a little bit. There's a lake in this neighborhood that I'm in, but like, yeah, I don't stay in there very long because I'm like, I don't know what's in here. But I was looking at my notes really quick from this show that I did. If you guys haven't checked out any shows I've done with Grace Fraga, she is an actress, a writer, producer, all that good stuff. And, it's like I am too in my own way, right? But she's really actively doing it right now. And she's on Pacific Coast time. And I'm over here on the East Coast. So I will let you guys know what we have a show coming up next week. It's on the 12th. I will share that. And there's another one in a couple weeks from there. And we're going to keep that going. It's like twice a month right now. But I have some notes because we did a like celebrity top 10 of, when people say they're getting canceled or this or that. And we were kind of reporting and just reading stuff because that's what people talk about, what's trending. I don't watch the news. I'm just going to say that. I don't watch the news. I don't pay attention to all this trending stuff like I used to. I know when I was in middle school and like a really young teenager, like 12, 13, 14, I used to read those magazines and like, I was like so in the know, or even when like the internet became more pop, I was like, paying attention, especially to actors that I really liked or something like that. But now I'm like, as I got older and older, I was like, that's ridiculous. And like, we're all people. Like, why do people get obsessed with other people? Like, whether you're a celebrity or not, why this, why that? Like, how would you feel if you were in the limelight? How would, put yourself in somebody else's shoes? Like, I can really appreciate people's work now and like, be interested about their lives. What inspired you to do X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. Like, I just don't get the obsession stuff anymore, or like treating them differently, or like really the paparazzi. I was about to say propaganda. I'm like, what's that P word? Paparazzi, like the whole it's really enraging when you think about it. It's really disgusting. but our society perpetuates it. Everybody perpetuates it. It's just accepted as like, well, this is just how it is, and people buy into it and like feed into it. And I don't like that. I really don't. I'm gonna say my piece, and I'm looking at my notes because we didn't go in this direction. We just kind of like talked about the top 10 and just kind of reporting on that. And she's in California on the, Pacific side. So it was like, and she's an act, she's in that scene, and I'm over here, and it's like I hear about these things, hearsay, but I don't. I'm like, we don't really know what's going on. We don't really know them, and she totally agree. We see eye to eye on these things, so I don't mind like talking and reporting on it with the lovely Grace. So I wrote in my notes though, in case we went in this direction, but we didn't. I was like, I want to talk like real talk, how it's sad that people and celebrities, this is how I write in my notes, you guys, in general, seem to have worry. They have to worry about getting canceled. How does this affect their lives, careers, mentality, public figures, whether you're in politics, you're in entertainment, you could be like a regular person that got forced in the limelight somehow. It could be scandals. It could be, God knows what. But it's like all of a sudden, if you're in the limelight, just imagine how that would feel. No one can really prepare you for that adequately. No one. I don't care if you have a PR person, a lawyer, your family, you have a manager, it doesn't matter, a colleague, a peer in the business. No one could prepare you like fully enough to grasp like what are you walking into, what is that going to feel like when people just start ripping you to shreds, figuratively, hopefully, just tearing apart how you look, your name, maybe your family, your work, what you said, what you wore, what you didn't say, what you didn't wear. I mean, it's like totally ridiculous, right? And then the whole thing with getting canceled is just freaking hilarious. And for people who are not aware, like this whole thing, what we're like, I'm talking to myself right now, right? And somebody might watch this later, but I'm saying my piece. Who knows who's listening? Someone could be listening. And it's just insane because in the media and entertainment, we're watching this thing and everyone's just taking it in like, this is real, this is real. And you don't really realize how we're projecting onto it, and you're watching the screen and then it's mirroring back to us. I'm like really grasping this on my healing and my spiritual journey, you guys. So I keep calling it, because I used to think of it like normal too. And now I'm like, oh my God, like it's gotten more and more ridiculous. Politics doesn't everyone know? Like the entertainment, the social media, I mean, people's jobs, the way the websites, the way companies are named, the way, you look around outside and everything that's going on, the way everybody acts in society. I mean, it's just flipping hilarious when you really think about it. And everyone's like behaving and acting normal. And you look on the news, I'm like, this is anything but normal. It's been like that for years. And it seems like it got like kookier and kookier. And I feel like a lot of people just want to ignore it because maybe it's scary or it's hard to admit, like, what are we watching and like, what are we living in? What kind of like matrixed out place is this? And people might hear what I'm saying and totally reject it or be like, she's crazy, or what is she smoking? Well, nothing, because I'm not a smoker. But yeah, this is what happens when you chase the white rabbit, do a little Alice in Wonderland, like boop, boop, and you just keep going. I think it's worth it. And for me, I would much rather know the truth. I don't know about you guys. I asked and prayed a while ago on this healing journey. I'm like, I want to know the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. I really do. Like, I don't want to be sheltered. I want to know everything for real. Like, I'm sick of all the media projections, the jokes, just all of the mirroring that we see with people, places, things, society, other systems. Like, I'm not part of your system. So I'm talking about all of these things. Let me see if I wrote anything else on here that's worth even mentioning. Because now it's like my vision is 2020. You guys have like perfect, like, I'm 39 years old. You know, age is just a number, but I've had 2020 for as long as I can remember. And I just, like, I get them checked every year. So, but yeah, when it gets later and I'm like, of course, nobody wants to focus and read stuff with your eyes. Even if you have perfect vision, I still can't believe it. And you know what? I will say, people want to just make you like them. I'm not going to speak, like, call anybody out, family, friends, somebody I know, some people I know tell me, because they know I have like good vision, 2020, right? And they've been like, oh, will you just wait? Because every time somebody turns 40, right after you turn 40, like, they're going to go down. You're going to need glasses. You'll probably need something. It happens in your, right after you turn 40 and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. And just so you know, that's not going to happen to me because I'm already 39. I'm still going strong, and you can't stop this. You can't stop this feeling. So it's really too bad. I just speak it, just stop it right there. I'm like, don't you dare speak death over me. I speak life, and that wins over your death every time. The power of life and death lies in the tongue. I know my Bible, you guys. Whether you believe in it or not, it's just some truths, you know. Let me see if there was anything else. Doop-a-doop-doop-doo. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Yeah, talking about getting canceled. I was like, people make jokes about getting canceled, but I'm like, it's real to these celebrities, to these public figures, and people that have to, like, be concerned about it for their well-being, their bread and butter, whatever, your way of life. But it's real, and it's real to all of us. But I'm like, it's different when we get online or we talk in public. We choose not to cover certain topics like religion or politics. It is different because we don't want to, like, exclude people or polarize anything. Like, I might say certain things like, in the name of Jesus, blah, blah, blah. But, like, I'm not, like, I can unite and string together, like, all faiths, all religions. I can talk about just, like, one love, consciousness. If anyone's familiar with Christ consciousness, you know, that's what one love, one consciousness, the whole thing is like. You ever heard of the Three Musketeers? Like, all for one for all. It's the same, to me, it's the same kind of idea. But I don't like to, yeah, like, take stances on religion, politics anyway, because I don't believe in any of these systems and man-made rules and stuff meant to control people. I don't believe in that. I'm in the actual, like, faith and concepts and, like, consciousness and power behind, that's actually what moves the universe and people and all of these things, not the systems, like the actual power behind it. That's what I'm about. So, and people that I get on these shows with, like Grace and other people, are the same way. We're like-minded. So you're not going to hear us on here talking about religion, politics, like certain, you know, types of celebrity news and that kind of stuff. But I did write, there's a fine line to walk between all of this. But where does the line blur between fear of getting canceled and the motivation, the intention to respect others and simply love them, to stay away from certain topics in public? Like, I know it's a lot, like, late at night. So I'm going to stop there probably. But I wrote, everything always boils down to our intention, our motivation for everything in life anyway. Our quantum reality, how Grace and I like to say, our healing journey, it does boil it down. No matter what we do, no matter who you're talking to, what you're standing for, what you're fighting for or not, how you live your life. It's not always just what you do or you don't do, or what you say or you don't say. It's your intention and your motivation behind everything. Because in the end, all will be known. The truth shall set us free. I believe that, and I know that because I have claimed that and prayed for that. I have seen a lot and heard a lot, you guys. Obviously, I've had some real eye-opening experiences, and I hope you have too. I don't know if who out there understands, but I know that my soul family is just gradually finding me and connecting over with me. You heard of that, like soul family, soul tribe? It's not always our straight up blood. It's also soul family, soul tribe people. Like, and you can gravitate toward each other and know, like, oh my gosh, we're cut from the same cloth. Like, we're speaking the same language. And maybe you don't feel in your own circles that you're understood or heard, or like you're speaking the same language with people. I understand. And I know what it feels like to be like the odd one out or the different one with the black sheep. Like, she's little whoop whoop, or like, the like she's doing okay right now. Like that whole thing. She's, we're trying to help her get back on track. Like, whose track are we talking about? Because I'm on my own track, people. But yeah, that's what I wrote. It just boils down. What's your intention, your motivation? It doesn't matter if you're like, I'm a Christian and I'm doing everything great. And, I go to church and I do this and that. I feed the homeless. Or if you're like, you know what, I'm an atheist and I still live my life right. I'm a good person, blah, blah. It doesn't really matter. What is your intention and motivation behind everything? Hey, what's up? Oh my gosh. Someone actually said hi. Yes, all is well. Keep doing you. I am doing me. So Fins, take with CB83. Thanks. And you as well. You keep doing you. You know what? I do me. And that's really important. Self-love, you guys, in all ways. Self-love. When people say you do you, boo, or like keep doing you, it's like, yeah, love yourself. Make love to yourself. Support yourself, hug yourself, be kind to yourself, right? All those things. I have learned that the hard way, you guys, but I have still learned it. And thanks for saying hi. That's really sweet. Because you see, even if I think I'm talking to myself and no one's on here, it doesn't stop me at all. It doesn't bother me. People get on here. I don't care if they're famous or not or who they are. Like, they'll get on here and they'll be like, and I don't mean to make fun of anybody, but it is really funny. I have, I'll watch a show and I'll be like, oh my God, I love this actor, actress. And like, I'll click on a few of their YouTube videos and I've seen a couple lives. And I'm like, this person's super well known. And they'll get on here and they'll be like, okay, let's see who's getting on. And like, oh, okay. And they're like waiting for people to show up. And I'm like, oh my God, they're like paying attention to the numbers and like waiting for people to show up. And I'm over here laughing my ass off because I find that amusing, because I don't know why. I just don't care. I do care about you, this one person that's on here right now. I do, but I don't, like, it doesn't bother me at all when I get on here. And I mean, did I even promote this or plan this? And even when I do, the whole point of me doing this Friday flow, you guys, this is what it looks like for somebody to flow it out, unscripted, unplanned completely. So it's not even like timed, like at a certain time, obviously, because it's completely spontaneous. And this is what real living in life is. And this is what it looks like. And this is why I do this, because, oh my God, I really don't, I'm like, am I going to tear up again? I've teared up earlier when I was, hanging out with my family. My sister was there because she was playing Taylor Swift's new songs and new albums, you guys. I've always liked Taylor Swift and her music, but I only knew the songs that were like really popular. They played on the radio because I heard like her fans are called Swifties and all this kind of, I was like, what? And then I watched a documentary about her and I just thought it was so great. Like, I just really appreciate people who like are lyricists or like songwriters. And even if people hate on them or they're like, oh, they're not the best, blah, blah. It's like, dude, they're expressing themselves. Look how they're turning their life and their pain into art. And look at what they're doing. Like, it's really amazing. So I listened to some of her new music tonight and my sister had me like tearing up because the lyrics were just so like relatable and they just really cut. If you've ever had a heartbreak, you guys, if you've ever you know, that kind of stuff where relationships, love, heartbreak, just life, just ripping you up and you got to keep going. Check out Taylor Swift's new album, her new songs, you guys. I just can't. It's Fins with CB83. It's therapeutic even without an audience. Oh my God. Good. I am so glad to hear that for me too. Oh my gosh. Watch, it's free therapy. Yay. And I've done paid therapy, and let me tell you what, this is a lot more fun. I don't know if you've done any therapy, Fins. I'm just going to call you Fins because it says Fins. I don't know if you've done any, but I've done a few different kinds. I've done talk therapy, like with a psychotherapist, you know, a regular psychologist. I've done psychiatry, which is when they give you medication, but then they talk to you a little bit to make sure, like, can I really give her this? Is she really who she says she, like, let me see how nuts she is. No, she's not nuts at all. I mean, I always feel really good about myself when I go into a psychiatrist because they deal with some really heavy shit. So I'm kind of like, you know what? This is a walk in the park for them to deal with me. You know, this is like a little chip, a little dip, and a big, you know, a little fizzy, a little izzy. I'm like the easiest patient. Okay, when I go into, I'm thinking this, they get a cakewalk with me. It's fine. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a great night. I know I just totally went off on a lot of topics, and you can just put that in your back pocket, your front pockets, anywhere else you'd like. Take that with you. And yeah, I'm always looking for ideas, even though I always have them. I have like a wellspring of ideas, you guys. Like, I'm not that person that gets on here and is like, I don't have anything to talk about, or like, I didn't plan this. I will freaking find something because I'm just constantly wondering about looking up stuff. Thoughts come to me like downloading, uploading. You know, I'm sure a lot of people feel that way too. Maybe some people are just not as curious and interested as I am in so many things. People, places, things, concepts, ideas, whatever. Vibes. Maybe some people would like to be and they're afraid or like hesitant. Oh, it doesn't matter what I do, or if I'm, you know, blah, blah, and they have negative self-talk. Well, guess what? I understand that. I've been there, done that, and it is no bueno. So I can talk about that. That's another topic for another day. I'm gonna get off of here because it's 11:10 over here on the East Coast. And I hope you guys have a great Friday night and you have a great weekend. And you can email me at crystalblackpurepodcasting@gmail.com if you have any ideas, questions that I can never talk about on these things, these live streams, live chats. And I'm glad I did it on here, just straight up on YouTube to, yeah, just see how it goes. And I'll do more of this. I am, this is probably not something you should say. I'm like, I'm by myself, you know, because I'm with my son a lot and like around. But I'm having a little mommy me time just by myself, which is good. And yeah, so it's a little bit more quiet. And I talk to myself anyway, so it's just talking on the screen. But thanks, Fins, take with CB83. Thanks for saying hello. And I will share this to anyone else who wants to hear and think about all these topics that I talk about. And yeah, cheers. You guys do a great weekend. Cheers, and just thankful to be alive and to have breath and be feeling so much better than I have at other times in my life when I was really struggling and really ill. I thought about that today. I'm like, as much as I'm like, oh, I miss this, or I wish, and I stopped right there. I'm like, I was walking earlier and it was like freakishly hot here. in Central Florida. I'm like, why am I walking right now? Why did I, and I'm like, it's so hard for me to walk when I feel like this. And just, I feel like I'm lugging around like extra weight that's not there. Sometimes it's just hard. I have trouble moving, and then other times it's really easy. And I know I've had a lot of different symptoms, but I'm like, there have been such low times in my life that I'm like, wow, I'm so thankful. And I know, I'm sure a lot of people out there can relate, like, and nobody wants to hear you say that if you're having a rough time and someone's like, well, be thankful, there's something to be thankful or grateful for every day. It's true, there is. But I've had some really just rough days and nights like we all have. And it's like, I just have like a memory, just like a glimmer of that today. And I was walking and I was like, no, like this is so much better. Whatever I'm dealing with right now, I gratefully welcome it. And I'm just so grateful to be in a different place and that change happens and change is possible. Forward movement, progression. I tell everybody, I'm like, one step forward, three steps back. I've done that so many times. It doesn't matter as long as it's not staying stagnant and the same and just that's painful. As long as you're growing and evolving, even if you fall back and you make a mistake, you can pick yourself up and keep going. Because the momentum keeps going, even if you fall. See, like this. But if you stop and you're stagnant, you're still. I mean, you're not in motion anymore. So how can you really? It's harder for those folks to move forward. So I was saying goodnight, and then I went into a nut. See, so just keep it moving, keep it grooving, you guys. No still shots. Don't stop. Can't stop. Won't stop. I'm not going to say team no sleep because I've done that and that's bad too. You do need a little sleep. You need some rest, and I'm going to do that tonight. So with that, I bid you adieu. A good evening. Buenas noches. Buena notte. Kalinichta. It's a few different languages for you. Okay. Peace, guys.